and it's like a big gold seal. It's like $142.
Washington City with a capital C, right?
I think so, yes. So that same thing's provided within Canada, the states, and going to the federal, which has got an agreement with the other federal governments. You look up Mexico City in here, and it says a federal district. It's like 500 and some odd square miles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
London City would be the same.
I don't know.
London's only 1 square mile.
Well, there's a few things over there.
I'm going to be responding to this one. I just realized what this one is saying. Will not receive a response. Like, they're filed and future inquiries will not. It'll be interesting.
So they're
They're
telling you that they're not going to respond.
anymore.
Yeah, but then someone says a Freeman.
It's not in this one.
So I need to ask him about that too.
You know, the definition of the United States is kind of interesting. I think this has got the new.
Where can we get that book from?
This is just Webster's 4th College edition. Any Borders books.
All those are available electronically, so you can kind of have them.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure they are. You bet. See, some of these books had United States and some's United States of America.
I like how they use it in different context.
And this one doesn't have it, but I've got it on my other one. This one calls United States of America, country made up of the North American area extending from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean between Canada and Mexico, together with Alaska and Hawaii. In another dictionary, it's a republic in the Western Hemisphere comprising 48 conterminous states and the District of Columbia and Alaska in the Northwest Hemisphere and Hawaii in the North Pacific. That's the definition of the United States in God, I can't think of the dictionary. But I got it. It says a republic in the Northwest Hemisphere.
The Dominican Republic.
This one's a little different, so they're all kind of just interesting to see these various definitions in this. This says United States. Country, not a country, says country. Country in that context is land. Made up of the North American area, extending from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific, from Canada and Mexico. Kind of interesting. Country made, not the country. It's a whole different word altogether. Just like some of our filings with the docs. Some of their filings say, in the United States District Court of the Western District of Ohio, blah, blah. And some just say United States District Court. Two different courts altogether. One's on the private side, one's on the public. Very fine distinction.
Which one's?
I think I actually have this with me.
Which is which?
In is the fiction.
Okay.
So when you get court filings and stuff and you're doing things on the private and the public side, there's a lot of real interesting things going on.
I've heard it said that the word of can also mean without.
Well, there you go. See, there's just so much nuances and context is everything. Sometimes don't get too caught up in some of the...
So the President of the United States can mean the President without the United States.
It could be. Because he wears two hats. Congress wears two hats. Was it in Cohen's versus Virginia? It is clear that Congress as a legislative body exercises two species of legislative power. The one limited as to its objects but extending all over the Union. The other an absolute exclusive legislative power of the District of Columbia. So it's like, whoa. You're going, whoa, how's this stuff happen? I didn't know they wore two hats. Oh, yeah. I think I got this with me. Yes, I do have them with me. If you think these are mistakes, they're not. United States District Court, Southern District of Ohio. In the United States District Court, Southern District of Ohio, Western Division. There's something wrong here, you know? Same case. See how it says them different? In the United States District Court, Western United States District Court, Southern District of Ohio.
This is a salary. Would it be like in a public court?
Yeah, this is the public side, this is the private side.
You knew that? Or see, to them that way, or did they get turned off?
They returned it this way. This is from the court, these are not stuff we brought in from the courts.
Did you know that that would come back that way? Or did
And
you
the other one, the
Because
last,
some, you don't know that, you
You
know.
looked at it, and what is it?
Yeah, sometimes it comes without caption sets, upper,
good
lower
one,
case,
I
it's just
was
pretty wild what they
trying to
do.
draft one
Right here,
tonight for
see?
one with this chase because
See, I didn't get a
that one
letter
fit.
back.
Two different courts altogether. There's no happenstance, no
Or that might
coincidence in these courts.
This
This one's in the United States District Court, Southern District of Ohio, Western Division. United States
looked
District
in
Court,
good, just like the other one.
Southern District of Ohio.
So this would be
But
the
they're
private
saying they're
side.
not accepting any more response.
Public side, private side, so. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see that stuff.
Local quote for that.
James 5:12, and it's actually in a whole bunch of places in the Bible, but the one that I'm familiar with, James 5:12. Huh?
Jesus also says it, let your yes be yes and your no be no.
Right. It's all over the Bible, the different stuff that we espouse to, and the Proverbs are a wonderful place to pick up all this advice. Romans and Proverbs I like a lot, but all the books are just got messages and great stuff throughout that document, that book.
Makes you wonder who put all that together.
Well, like they say, nothing new under the sun, is there?
That's true.
It's kind of cute. I was watching to get that Public Enemy movie come out, and the government's declaring a war on crime. Al Capone and all that good stuff.
Oh,
and those
right.
guys. So that's back in the 20s and
Dillinger.
30s. Beware the leader who bangs the drums of war. And we've had a war on poverty, a war on drugs, a war on terror, a war on this, a war on that. Beware the leader who bangs the drums of war in order to whip the citizenry into a patriotic fervor. For patriotism is indeed a double-edged sword. It both emboldens the blood just as it narrows the mind. And when the drums of war have reached a fever pitch and the blood boils with hate and the mind has closed, the leader will have no need in seizing the rights of the citizenry. Rather, the citizenry, infused with fear and blinded by patriotism, will offer up all of their rights unto the leader, and gladly so. How do I know? For this is what I have done, and I am Caesar.
Mm.
God, such good stuff.
And where was this from?
And I am Caesar, about 2,000-year-old quote.
Julius Caesar.
Caesar said that.
Yeah, he's quoted as saying that. Whether it's true or not really makes no difference. In concept, it's true, isn't it? They always do that. They're coming to get us. So what do we do when they knock the trade centers down? Supposedly 15 Saudis, so we attack Afghanistan. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And of course, let's not worry about the fact that Senator Ted Kennedy came out in Vanity Fair and says, and I've seen the article, there were no weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, it was a factory on the moon. It's just business, nothing personal,
They
folks.
weren't even smart enough to plant any.
Didn't need to. Why do you got to go to all that trouble? These suckers out here don't know nothing. They believe everything we say anyway. Right? So we'll say they had weapons of mass destruction, and we'll let Kennedy and anybody else want to say there never were any. What are they going to do? They're going to wonder when's that damn Super Bowl getting started. They sure in the hell ain't going to some cotton-picking seminar and paying some money and spending 2 days hearing a bunch of weird-ass rhetoric, right? It couldn't possibly be true. Oh, all those successes those guys get, that's just aberrations, loopholes in the law, right? Sure it is. Cows jump over the moon, too. Just give people lots and lots of... They want information or likely to be misled. That's all you got to do. I got Blake Besta want us to do. He says, "Who do I believe, Gordon?" He called me up, and he's got him and his girl Tracy both took the stuff, and Blake's great because he's honest. I love that guy. He calls up and he says, "Hey, Tracy, you're on the line. You better get off because I got something to say to Gordon." So he's going to read me the riot act about who to believe in this and that. When we get done, he said, "God, I can't believe it." He said, "Thank you." Because he just gets worried. And that's okay to have doubts until you get some studies under you and understand how it works. Juanita did the other day. She's, God, what happened to this guy in there? What the heck? All you can do is find, you believe it or not, they do it right always. Does that mean we won't run into some aberrant officer? Nah, we might, but don't count on it. Not for long. You won't have a job long. Not that I haven't run into an aberrant guard or anybody yet in all the confrontations. It's been a lot of them, let me tell you. A lot. They're good at what they do. Have faith in your God and have faith in your studies. Should you believe me? Problem with my stuff is we're doing really good with all it. We win everything just about. I've got one student that didn't do good with it and didn't believe it, and he got blew up. He deserved it. He just couldn't buy it. That's what happens when you're a double PhD and you've been in this for 10 or 15 years and you know too much. Can't help somebody like that. I don't worry too much about it. He's the same guy that was really pissed at Brandon because Brandon spent 6 or 7 hours helping with the OID process, got him back over $500 grand, and his attitude was, "Now all you did for me is put me at risk because I heard that IRS is knocking on some people's doors or sending out letters." Didn't even tell Brandon thank you for spending 6-7 hours. It's amazing. But hey, when you're a double PhD, the world does all your living. You can't know accounting, that kind of stuff. And this guy never got a letter from the IRS, a frivolous letter, nothing else, or they didn't even try to take his money back, and he had that attitude. That's too good. He's the best. I like him. Anyway, any further questions? I've enjoyed all of you. I hope that it's been fruitful for you.
Yes.
Yes. Very good.
Don't be worried if you can't get this stuff right away. Don't get all rattled at yourself. You're going to go out of here feeling real good. You got the tiger, and you're going to start having some doubts and this and that. That's why you need to listen to it, do some studies, and try and logically think it through. What else is there but contracting? I thought about that. All law emanates from contract or agreement. Therefore, law is contract, contract's law. Yeah, because, how else? What else could it be? We're not born into slavery.
Can you recommend any book that's specifically on contract law?
Whole bunches of them. We gave you Brian Blum,
Okay.
Contracts, Explanations and Examples, or Examples and Explanations. There's Williston on contracts. There's Restatement Second. Huh?
Cracking the Code, 3rd edition.
Yeah, that's actually, I was given a location. I've got it on the
I
internet
think,
now where the whole thing is.
I have it.
So-
You got it on the... Is that the one from 2001 or so?
Yes, third one.
About 400 or 500 pages.
Yeah.
It's just
I
a
think
great...
it's
Not all of it's accurate.
What are you saying?
But it's
on the internet? Or
Free on the internet. Yeah, all this stuff is free. That's a neat thing, you know. So if you need more books and stuff, I took the you know, that offer and acceptance part out of that Brian Blum contract book, because a lot of that book I'm just you know, but that part is really superb. Some of the rest of it gives you the nuances of rental agreements and these kinds of agreements, and it's fun to read them so you can get an idea what really comprises contracts. But in reality, contracts are express or implied. So this eliminates in your mind this has got to have a meeting of the minds and consideration given and all that other horse crap. No, it doesn't. Because a meeting of the minds is if you went and stood against the wall, then that's what you meant to do. Your actions speak louder than your words. And that's why acts and silence and signs are all an indication of what you really intended. When we settled the murder guy's suspect stuff off and the prosecutor agreed, that's what she agreed to. How do we know? Where's the answers? Other than tacit acquiescence to our offers. I don't want to hear what she's here arguing over. I just got a question, Judge. Did she or did she not tacitly acquiesce to the... What do the record and pleadings say? That's all I want to know. Was there some record? Did she submit a response to the record we brought here to court for ratification? That's in the 11 pages, something along that line. It's a great one. No. Well, then, kind of like Aunt Marge. Did they keep it? Then they've been paid, haven't they?
Yeah.
You're in court with it. Well, you submitted this thing? Judge, did they keep the remittance? Just a question. I'm just curious here. They keep the remittance? Well, yeah. Then haven't they been paid? Just a question. And get up and harangue about it, this, that, and the other thing. If they have an opportunity to return it and keep it, yeah. Well, they've been paid, haven't they? That's why he's the judge. He knows the laws. That's why we have a judge. That's why juries aren't allowed to determine the law. They don't know anything. They don't even know who they are. Jury nullification, and we ought to... These guys, quit the haranguing and whining and reviling. These guys are so... They don't know who they are.
They're smart enough to get out of jury duty.
Or they think that they want to do it, but it's just to determine the facts. Why not give them something that doesn't matter? Facts are on the moon. It doesn't matter. Believe it or not, we can give a bunch of dumb slaves stuff to make decisions on that don't matter. Really makes a lot of sense from that point, doesn't it? Not a pleasant one. And all I know is, the one thing I know is I don't know much. I really don't. I'm always in the books and open-minded, but unless something comports with the scriptures and this and that, and James Allen to a degree for me, I just shut it out. If they're not saying upbeat things, I got enough garbage on my head without hearing negativity. And you've got to be careful what you let come into your head. Every thought seed sown or allowed to fall into the mind and take root there produces its own, blossoming sooner or later into act. Man, that James Allen. So you be careful what you let into your mind with these gurus, including Gordon. Anybody that isn't being honorable. You know what honor is. Honor would not be whining and reviling, saying negative things and being crass. Because I better be right, because if I'm not, we're all through. Right?
Yeah.
We're all there's nothing, there's no hope.
Anarchy's next.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to think that. But I don't do that just blindly because I see it work all the time, and you too, as you see this be applied. There's hope, and it won't take you long to become proficient if you put a little effort into it. You don't got to be memorizing a zillion things. You don't got to know verse and script. You don't have to know all this. I told you, like I might give you a verse and script on what's acceptance, but you know it creates a binding contract. An agreement either by express act or implication from conduct to the terms of an offer, so the binding contract is formed. All you need to know is it forms a binding contract. That's good enough. You don't need that exact thing. If you need it, you can go look up that and cogitate on that beautiful definition. You can deal with fuzzy logic on that because it's just the facts. I just like knowing every nuance, and I teach it, so it's important that I do know it.
The other thing is that the more you know, and like if you can rattle something off like that, I mean, it makes the guy stop and think. The cop. Stop
Hopefully.
and think that,
You don't have much there. He's going to go with your confidence. That's why you don't have to rattle things off. Did you take an oath of office? Didn't you agree to uphold the Constitution? Where in the Constitution you got the power over the people? You just know it's not in there. That's all, because I told you it wasn't. You can go see the 17 enumerated powers or whatever's in yours. Where is it in there? And it wouldn't matter. That's a contract. Where am I a party to it? No. I don't get any rights from it, but I get guarantees and securities to my stuff. My God-given unalienable rights, right? So you got it made. Be upbeat. Stay on this stuff. And all you need is just a little guidance with a few of these, just like the gal called today. God, this stuff works. Got her lawnmower back. $3,000, $4,000 lawnmower. But she was thrilled to see that and have a conversation with the chiropractor dad. And he's going to talk to the daughter and actually seeing a little movement, you know. They're kind of thrilled. She actually did a good job putting it together. I sent her the examples of Terry Kelly, and she put it all together. And I only like changed one or two words on this 2-page document she did. She did a good job. Amateur, total amateur at it. My sister took the one thing and wrote a nice little paragraph that worked beautifully. Was that an excellent paragraph? I think it's the best. Beats a nice legalese one I'm doing and all this yak, 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 yak. Man, that was just a nice little short, sweet one. Got the dough back. That's a perfect document, in my opinion. It produced. And it said everything she wanted to say. So you don't have to worry about little things and they got this just right and that just right. She didn't send a certified nothing, just send it over to them. I'm just gearing up to lien somebody with all the certified numbers and all that and having the witness and third party certificate. So she didn't do any of it. She faxed it over.
Even just going down to the post office, you know, you want your certification and your mailing numbers, and, you know, you're kind of nervous. And you do that a few times, and it's, you know, yeah.
It becomes just nothing. Like
Yeah.
a lot of my
But the first
certificates. Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, I used to want them exact on and this and that and right here just right, and thinking it really made some. Oh man, I got an anal nut. It's okay though. Nothing wrong with that.
She puts the big certified stamp on your document there, and it's like all bubbled over. And I'm like, let's make sure that thing's sticking there, baby. Come on, this is serious crap. This is going to CRA.
Yeah.
I don't want to fall off.
And they're going to be impressed with the way it's stamped. And they're going to give me a remedy because of the way you stamped it. Yeah. It's a beautiful
There it
thing.
fell off.
You're all going to have fun with this, and as you continue to listen to the seminars and the stuff free on the site, you can get some examples. Go through Juanita, we'll get you some stuff. We don't mind giving you all free stuff all the time. And I will tell you that Juanita wanted me to come up here. She loves all you guys. She cares genuinely about you all.
How about a round of applause for Anita? Thank
Yeah,
you
that's
very
what I
much.
say to Juanita.
A lot of energy you went through for us. We appreciate it.
It's the best, isn't it? Your life's yours.
Yes.
Do what you will with it. Go out and have some fun, man. Ain't none of us getting out of here alive anyway.